Hey guys, it's Nicole and I'm here with a paranormal video. Ah! Notice I did not say paranormal story time video because this is not a story time video. I don't know what this is. This is just a paranormal video. Throughout my entire life, I have been really intrigued by the paranormal. Not because I'm not afraid of it, but because I'm absolutely terrified of it. The paranormal is like one of my worst fears. It scares the shit out of me. So, yeah. But throughout my life, I have come into contact with a couple of people who have had paranormal experience. I have never seen a ghost. I've had, like, you know, paranormal experiences, but, like, I've never actually seen with my own eyes a ghost in front of my face. That's never happened to me. So when I was younger, my mom had told me about this dream that she used to have when she was a little girl. When she was a little girl, she used to have this reoccurring dream that she would be being chased by this man. And she explained him to be, he was just a long shadow. Like, he didn't have, like, a face. Like, you couldn't see his face. And it was just, like, a shadow of a man. And the one thing that stuck out was that he had a hat. So, after my mom had told me about that dream, it was kind of like, you know, it never really crossed my mind. It wasn't very significant. It was just a dream that my mom used to have. I had also had a best friend when I lived in Nevada. She had told me about how her house was haunted. And I was like, oh my god, tell me all about it. And, like, when she was telling me this, and I know that this happens to a lot of people, it even happens to me, you know, but, like, when you're talking about something, or you're watching a video or a movie or something that, like, literally chills you to the bone, it just scares you so bad, and your eyes start to water, you know, like, it's just, like, it's, like, gives you the goosebumps, and your eyes start to water. Has that ever happened to you? Well, that's what was happening to, Shelby when she was telling me about her house being haunted, and she was telling me, like, that it was haunted by this man, and that, you know, one day she came out of her room and she had seen this man standing there, and when she explained it to me, like, I got chills, like, when she explained what this man looked like, because it was the exact same figure that my mom had seen chasing her in her dreams. And later down the road, I had heard a separate story of somebody else who had seen this man in a hat. And it was always the same. They always said that it was a long shadow of, like, a tall man. You couldn't see his face. Like, he had no face, and he had a hat. And I kind of stopped doing my research after a couple years ago, and I never found anything, and I just stopped researching it. But then I remember that, the reason I stopped researching it is because I just blew it off as, like, it was like a Slender Man thing, you know. And if you don't know who Slender Man is, he's kind of the same, but he's like a tall, dark figure that has, like, long arms and long legs. Like, he's just, like, a tall, dark figure, and he usually shows up before children disappear. I don't know, that's the story, but Slender Man is not the same as the Hat Man. But when I did my research on Slender Man, then I just kind of, like, was like, maybe it's the same, like, I don't know, he doesn't have a hat, but, you know, maybe people are confusing it, I don't know. But it was still weird that, you know, my mom had this dream, and my friend had told me her house was haunted by the Hat Man, and then later on, my Aunt Sharon, when she was living in this house when I lived in Nevada, she lived in this one house, and she was telling me how it was haunted, and that there was a woman that was in a white dress, and then there was a man, and then it was the same exact man that everybody else had been explaining. That absolutely blew my mind. But then, the other day, and this is what absolutely inspired this video, was the other day I was going through videos on YouTube, and I, like I said before, am obsessed with, like, paranormal and scary crap, so I watch all the scary videos, I subscribe to all the scary channels, and I had seen, and I don't watch Simply Nessa 15, I'm not, like, subscribed to her or anything. If any of you in my audience know who she is, I'm not subscribed to Simply Nessa 15, but I had seen that she posted a Ouija board video, and I've been, like, obsessing over that. That's, like, my recent scary obsession is Ouija boards, and I would never play a Ouija board. I'm too damn scared, and I definitely, after all the videos I've seen, I'm definitely never going to play a Ouija board. It actually kind of scares me just to watch the videos, but either way, I wanted to watch Simply Nessa 15's Ouija board video. When I was watching it, right in the beginning, she was talking about how she had seen, like when she was younger, she had seen this man that used to stand like in the corner of her closet, whatever, I don't know details, I might be mixing that up a little bit. Either way, she used to see this man that was a tall dark shadow and no face and a hat. And before she even said anything about a hat, I knew she was gonna say that he had a hat, because, you know, as soon as she was like, oh my gosh, I used to see this tall dark shadow of a man and he had no face, and as soon as she said that, I told Sean, I was like, she's gonna say he had a hat on. And then right after that, she's like, and he used to have a hat, or sometimes he'd wear a hat, sometimes he didn't, you know, blah blah blah. But yeah, so like as soon as I heard that, I freaking lost it. I was like, okay, this girl, you know, my best friend, my mom, my aunt, like all three, now 4 different people have seen this man, and they're all so, like, not related. Like, yeah, my mom and my Aunt Sharon are related, but that's not the point. I was absolutely blown away at this point. I was like, okay, I have to figure out what the hell this thing is. Like, is it a ghost? Is it a demon? Like, it can't be a ghost, because, like, a ghost, you know, is usually, like, I wouldn't think that a ghost would be able to transport from so many different places. Usually there's a ghost in, like, one spot. Like, if you're, like, a normal person that dies and then they're a ghost, you know, like, you'd think that they would stay in, like, one spot, but so many people all over the world are talking about how they've seen this man in a hat. That's why I was just like, what the hell? I have to figure this out. So that's kind of, like, what inspired me to do my research. And now I'm just going to show you guys, or I'm going to read to you guys, and I hope you guys don't mind that I am, like, verbatim, word for word, reading you this article, because yeah, that's what I want to do, because after I researched this and found this, I was like, oh my god, like I showed it to Sean and was like, dude, like, oh my god, how did I not find this before? But it's so creepy. It's so creepy. So this is what it looks like. That's the Hat Man. That would be the Hat Man. So I'm gonna read to you guys what it says. A couple of weeks ago, I talked about the creepy phenomena of shadow people. Shadow people are apparitions that usually appear in sleep or have some association with sleep paralysis. Today, I would like to look at one particular shadow entity, the Hat Man. The Hat Man is a shadow person that has been reported all over the world. The entity is usually described as a tall shadow man dressed in a long black trench coat and wearing a wide-brimmed, sorry, I was reading and then I thought I saw something weird in the camera as I was talking, so I had to look. Either way, sorry. Scaring myself over here. The Hat Man is a shadow person that has been reported all over the world. The entity is usually described as a tall shadow man dressed in a long black trench coat and wearing a wide-brimmed hat or a fedora. He is distinctively male, and witnesses say that he has no face or a shadowy, blurred face. And this is all creepy to me, because these are all things that I've had people tell me, you know, in person before I even read this. And the fact that it's so similar, that other people are experiencing the same exact thing. And also another thing that, like, freaked me out was in the beginning when it says, shadow people are apparitions that usually appear in sleep. Like my mom having dreams of the Hat Man? Like, how creepy is that? Okay, sorry, I'm gonna stop interrupting myself. Most shadow entities are usually seen for a moment or two before disappearing, but the Hat Man seems to be different, often staying for a prolonged period of time, and sometimes he even touches, chokes, or assaults his victims. Another aspect of the Hat Man that is eerie and more sinister than other shadow people is that the Hat Man is often associated with hostile environments, aggression, and is sometimes an indicator that something evil will happen. Here is what the Strange Accounts website has to say. This seemingly dark presence is known to cause or be attracted by hostile environments and aggressive behavior. Those who see him are often witness to domestic disturbances and family breakdown, noting a tangibly negative atmosphere, sense of dread, or hopelessness. For this reason, many have labeled the spirit a demon, an intelligent haunt capable of both physical and physiological manipulation. The Hatman may well be able to oppress those it comes in contact with, seeming to lend credence to this theory. The Hatman also seems to take pleasure in the terror he causes, and witnesses have reported the feeling that the Hatman is somehow feeding off of their fear. Other witnesses have reported that the Hatman sometimes has glowing red eyes or black featureless solid eyes. Others have said that the Hatman is a fallen angel or an angel of death, and that he comes just before a death. So that was the article, and this is on micahackerman.com. All I did was go into Google and type in ghost man with a hat, and then a whole bunch of options came up. So if you really wanted to do some in-depth research on this, then you absolutely could. There's even a video documentary on the Hat Man on YouTube, so I think I might even check that out at some point, but I'm kind of scared. But something else that I was telling Sean that I think is like absolutely terrifying is you go down to the comments. And this was in 2014, but still. Okay, so this man says, "The Hat Man. The other day, my sister-in-law was telling a tale about Slender Man, and I stated that I had experienced with a similar apparition many years ago. We looked up Slender Man and told her that this is not the figure I saw years back. Then I looked up dark figure in coat and hat, and pictures and drawings are exactly what I saw. I was astonished by how many people have seen this figure. My first encounter was about 13 years ago when a presence woke me up. I saw a tall, lanky man in a coat and a wide brim hat standing next to my bed looking at me. I jumped up, thinking someone had broken in, and started swinging at the figure only to catch air. This is when I realized this was a ghost or something. He vanished. In coming weeks, I was awoken by his presence about 3 more times, and every time he was standing there looking at me. Never moved, never made a sound, but I could clearly make him out. I have not seen him since. Nothing bad ever happened, but I will never forget the eerie experience." Okay, I'm gonna read this comment. I haven't read it yet, because I just haven't, but I'm gonna read this comment really quick. This one was posted in 2015. And yeah, the person says, "I too had an experience with this evil entity just recently. I have been looking into alien info as of late and stumbled across the documentary called The Nightmare that deals strongly with the Hatman. I recommend it if you're looking for more info on this. Well, that was at least 4 months ago when I saw it, and 3 nights ago I experienced it firsthand. I never thought anything like that would really happen, but I tell you, it felt so real it couldn't just be my mind playing tricks on me. I recently moved into a new dwelling with my friend, and we have been having a couple issues getting along lately. It was a particularly rough night for us, so I went to bed early. I've also been stressing about some other things I don't feel good about, so I'm having trouble sleeping lately, and it's early in the AM. Probably 3, I'm guessing, and there's a knock on the bedroom door. I'm startled and say, 'Who is it?' or 'Come in,' when the door slowly opens and a man with a hat and black face steps through." I just got chills. I can tell by his nature that he is trying to frighten me, and he says hi, and then my name as he stands at the foot of the bed. At this point, I'm kind of freaking out. He starts walking closer to the side of my bed, and I can tell he is enjoying my fear. He looks like he has something in his hand, is going to assault me when I say, 'Who the F are you, man?' I kind of sit up to grab at him when he disappeared, and I awake from this sleep spell. It felt as though I was awake, but I was in some kind of light sleep. It's the scariest thing to ever happen to me, and I'm trying to figure out how to pray or be positive so this doesn't happen again. I'm afraid to sleep now and have to find a way to beat this." I just want to know everything about this guy. It's crazy, and I'm so curious to see if any of you guys have actually seen this Hatman. Like, have you seen him? Have you met anybody who's seen him? Like, tell me your story, because I'm so intrigued. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and I'll make sure to do more videos like this again. But yeah, we will talk to you guys later. Bye! And watch out for the Hatman.